Hi friends, welcome back to Karla Created. I'm Karla, and in today's video I'm going to be refashioning an old pair of denim jeans into a midi skirt. I have quite a lot of denim in my to be refashioned stash. I think there's actually a little bit more than this, but this is what I just pulled out for the purpose of this particular video. So I have jeans here. I have offcuts of denim from old jeans that I've turned into shorts that have been waiting for me to do something with. The jeans in question that I'm going to use to make this midi skirt are these jeans here. Now, these jeans are a pair of my husband's jeans that he split a hole in the back of. So first things first, I need to start seam ripping these jeans apart. I'm going to need to take the pockets off to fix this hole at the back. And I'm also going to take the waistband off as well. So let's get into it. I have unpicked the pockets and I have taken off the waistband. I will cut that one off because I'm going to be taking off this seam at the back. I'll probably just cut this because I think I'm going to bring the jeans together at this seam and then restitch it straight. I am considering bleaching these pocket sections just so that they blend in with this lighter color of the denim, because once I bring this in, which will hopefully fix that hole as well, these won't quite work. Like you'll see this bit, because the pockets will need to be just adjusted somewhat. So I chose not to unpick the inner leg seams. I just went ahead and cut them. I also went ahead and cut some length off the legs of the jeans just to make it easier to work with. So you'll see here that I have done quite a bit of seam ripping. I have seam ripped the sides quite far down so that it's beyond my hip all the way down to my top of my thigh on both sides. I've also seam ripped the entire back part of the waistband and cut down the back of the jean pant legs. Now what I'm doing first before I start sewing up everything else is I've just placed down the crotch part of the jeans here, because once this is stitched, then I know how much I need to pull the sides by and take the sides in by, because I'm going to have a bit of sort of puckering in the crotch area because these were men's jeans and I think they're designed to have a little bit more sort of space in the crotch than what a pair of women's jeans would. So I need to sort of counteract that so I don't have a weird bulge in the skirt in the crotch area, which would just be very strange looking. So what I'll be doing after I stitch this down in a moment is just taking in these sides and making sure that they fit me and that they're pulled taut, so then that avoids this sort of puckering in the middle here. Now before you do any sewing with denim, make sure you change out your sewing machine needle to a needle that is specifically designed for jeans or for denim. Thank me later. I can't promise you though that it will stop your needle from snapping. Stay tuned for that. Okay, so all I did was just top stitch this down following the same sort of stitch lines that were on the original sort of crotch seam. And you can see the back here, I've just cut off the excess. I'm going to leave that raw because you're not going to see it and it'll just slightly fray because the denim's got a bit of a elastin in it, which isn't a big deal. Now the other thing I haven't mentioned yet is you'll see that I've kept the original sort of stitching here. I didn't unpick the pant legs. I just cut right along the edge of this existing stitching. And all I've done is I've just pulled the threads just to generate the fray, and then I've trimmed that fray sort of off, and it will be a nice, neat, uniform finish. So now that we've done this crotch part, I'm going to work on the sides. Now the reason why I'm doing the sides next, taking the side parts of the jean in and not the back, is because I can only take the sides in so much unless I cut fully into the pocket. So I do want to leave a bit of a pocket here, so I can only sort of taper in these sides so much. So I'm going to do that on both sides first, and then that way the final back seam I'll be able to work out how much I need to take it in by to fit my waist and hips. Now, a tip for you if you have baggy, loose pockets like I do on these jeans, pin the pockets down to make it easier for yourself. I'm planning for the skirt to sit at my waist, so I'm using my waist measurement to work out how much I need to take off from the sides of the jeans. Once you have worked out how much you would like to take off from the front of the skirt, pin right sides facing the side seams, ensuring that you're creating a nice tapered edge. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. I've just, where there's a mark, you can't quite see it because it's in a blue water erasable marker, I'm lining up the top and pinning that into making sure it's nicely tapered down to where I have unpicked the side of the jeans. And then you're going to sew. Be sure to avoid any of these metal studs that they put on the sides. You'll have to just forgive yourself for getting rid of that, because I don't know how you would take it off and put it back on again, or if it's even possible. There you go. Now you would just top stitch on this edge with a decorative stitch just to match the other seams. Before you do that though, I would recommend cutting off this excess. I've now tried the skirt on, now that I've stitched the front part and the sides. Yes, it's inside out, but bear with me. So now that I've got the even distribution across the front, I need to work out how much I need to take the back in by. Now, what I did to work this out was use my waist measurement, but I also fandangled some pins as well as marked the edge whilst I had the skirt on. I then stitched it, overlocked it as you see here, and it worked out really well. You can see that I've top stitched that down. All that's left to do now is to reattach the waistband and then sew on the belt loops into the correct position. I have taken the belt loops off of the waistband because I will be cutting quite a significant amount of the waistband off. To connect the waistbands together, you need to unpick the layers of the waistband, so then you can attach the first layer flat like this, right? Because otherwise it will be too bulky. I'll show you when it's finished because it will make more sense when you see what I end up with. So see how I have, this is the waistband. I've unpicked the layers. I've then unfolded the edges and then stitched it right size facing. So now I can cut down this seam. The edges will fold under really nicely. It won't be overly bulky like that. And then I just stitch it back together at the back. Does that make sense? And then there'll be a belt loop that actually hides that seam. So, yeah. If you can get through a jeans sewing project without snapping a needle, then you're doing something right. Ugh! I then decided to hem the skirt to the appropriate length. And at this point of the process, the skirt is pretty much done. However, now that I've taken that back seam in, I'm left with this dark mark from where the original pockets were, and it just looked really bad. So I decided to bleach it. I'm using a 50-50 bleach and water solution and a paintbrush just to make sure that I'm only putting the bleach on this darker pocket area. And it worked out quite well. I mean, it could have been better, but once I put the pockets on, it blended in okay, I think. We are pretty much done with this skirt. I just finished sewing the pockets on. You can see here that there's still a bit of a difference between the dark dye on this denim here and the rest of the denim. I think because the bleach seeped through and bleached underneath a little bit as well. So I'm toying with the idea of putting the entire skirt into a bleach wash to lighten the whole lot. Whether that would sort of fix this interesting pattern a bit more. I did hack the hem and I just overlocked and folded it over once and then top stitched it with 2 rows. I could have folded it twice, which is typically what you would see with denim, but I didn't want to risk breaking another needle with all the layers. I soaked the entire skirt in a bath of 80% water and around 20% bleach. Once it was dry, I reattached the leather belt loop detail. The skirt is done, and before I show you what it turned out like, I would just like to say if you've enjoyed this video so far, please like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And I'd also really love to hear in the comments if you give a refashion like this a try and how it turned out for you and whether or not you snapped a needle like I did. So here's the finished skirt in all of its glory. What I love most about this skirt is its versatility. I'm definitely going to wear it with a pair of sneakers and a t-shirt. That's probably more my everyday kind of vibe. But the fact that you can dress it up and dress it down just makes it such a wearable piece and a fantastic addition to my wardrobe. And I'm super stoked to wear it. I'm just waiting for the weather to warm up a little bit here in Western Australia. I also love the color. I'm so glad I did that final bleach bath. I mean, there was a lot of bleaching going on, but the decision to put the whole skirt once it was done into that final bleach bath, 10 out of 10. I'm so glad I did it because the color is chef's kiss. So anyway, also I'm so stoked that I managed to salvage a pair of torn jeans, and I'm really happy about that. I still have this massive pile of denim to be refashioned. So one down and many more to go. Stay tuned for more denim refashions to come. I'm gonna need to buy another packet of jeans needles, however, before I tackle that pile because I've only got one left. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.